Hi guys, welcome back. In last class, we looked at the different organelle functions of animal cells. And now for today, what we're going to do in direct comparison, we're going to look at the structure of the plant cell. And this cell I always love to compare and contrast to the animal cell too, because it clearly shows that the organelles, the majority of organelles that are found in our cells, are also found in plants. And if you remember from last time with the color coding that we did between the organelles and the names, you see those colors reappearing again. The endoplasmic reticulum, the nucleus, Golgi body, the intercellular space of the cytoplasm, the cell membrane, and the mitochondria. All of these organelles all appear in our cells and also appear in the plant cells. And they all have the same functions in the plant cell as well. But what you do notice up here are two things. Number one, the lysosome is not in the plant cell. Those are only in our cells. But more importantly for today, that there are 4 particular organelles that only appear in plant cells. And these organelles are very important for how the plant survives in the environment. Similar to how our organelles keep us alive in our cells, these organelles, particularly the plant-only organelles, are special and unique to keep the plant cell alive. So we are going to go over these different organelles, and I'm going to color code these with a light green because these organelles, because they're only in plants, you can visualize the green color of the plants to the structure within the cell. And the first one that completely demonstrates this is the chloroplast. Okay? And you notice plant cells have these chloroplasts, they give them their green color. So anytime you go outside and you see the green leaves and the green stems of plants, it is all derived from the chloroplast, because the chloroplast contains a green pigment called chlorophyll. And this is especially important because the chloroplast's main function is to absorb the energy of sunlight to jumpstart the process of photosynthesis in making its own food. Think of the chloroplast as this plant cell's solar panel, in that it absorbs the energy of the sun. Okay? Now, you guys all know in photosynthesis, that's the plant's way of making its own food. So once it makes its own food, it has to store it somewhere for later use. That's where the amelioplast comes into play. The amelioplast is similar to a food pantry or a food kitchen. It's going to store whatever food is made from the chloroplast and store it in the amelioplast for further use. Okay? And what takes up the majority of the space in the plant cell is this large structure called the central vacuole. And the central vacuole is very important because any toxins that the plants create or any water that it absorbs, it is all going to be stored in this central vacuole. Think of it as like the plant's trash can. And finally, the last organelle that is very specific for plants is the cell wall. Notice that the cell wall surrounds the outer layer of the plant cell, while the cell membrane, found in both types of cells, surrounds the inside. That's because in the cell wall, it is made of a tough compound called cellulose, and is very important for extra protection for the plant cell to kind of stand up to the harsh environment that it has to adapt to and live outside to. Okay? So the cell wall is an extra layer of protection, almost kind of like a barrier or a gate. And next class, what we're going to be doing is focusing primarily on each individual organelle and looking at specifically how it performs these different functions.